Hello, this is the second round of swatching the Sennelier full set of colors, although it's not really full because one color was missing from the box. Although it's not been missing, it's been replaced, and but I'm going to show you the color that should originally have been in there because I happen to have it in my collection. Okay, so we're moving on to the reds and the pinks and the purples and the first blues. Here we go, starting with Sennelier Red. Okay, I'll zoom in again because I want you to see it really well. And it's so hard for me to see if the colors are okay to you, so I might try to digitally manipulate that a little bit to make it look more realistic. So hard for me to see. Color is incredibly difficult because you know, I can calibrate it to perfection, and then the calibrations of your screens will be different from mine, and it may look totally different. So color is always a bit hard to bring across. But I'm trying to tell you what I experience, and maybe that will help you a little bit. Okay, Sennelier Red 636. And I like, oh yeah, it's beautifully bright, sparkly. And great flow. I could already feel that working with it, that this one is not as gooey as some of the others, so that's great. Now, Perylene Brown. I'm curious about this color. The name doesn't appeal to me. Perylene can be really, really great. Make beautifully beautiful colors. It's beautiful. Perylene Brown. Do you see why they call this Perylene? No, I mean, you see, sorry, why they call it brown? I don't see brown. So let's see how it dries up. I like it. Beautiful color. This could actually, I'm going to see if I can mix this into a nice skin tone, because this seems like a good base color for lips, especially, for instance, for areas that that have a really good blood supply under the skin. That would be fantastic. Cadmium Red Purple. Cadmium Red Purple. Looks a bit like English red. And this paint is a little more gooey, so I'm going to dilute it here to give it an optimal chance for flow. So those of you who are wondering why I'm wetting the page first is because that allows the paint to start flowing into the water. Experienced painters will get this, but those who are new to watercolor paint might wonder. 695 Alizarin Crimson Lake. I have a lot of alizarin crimsons. I think every brand that I have has alizarin crimson in them, and I think I have them all. And here is where I can feel and see, and I don't know if that comes across on camera. Here is where I can see and feel the fantastic quality of the Sennelier. I think if I don't know if Schminky Horadam has the same color in its collection, then the color will probably be more intense, but you can already feel the vibrant transparency of this paint due to the amount of honey that's in it, and that makes it so perfect for layering. So this alizarin crimson lake would be exceptionally good for all kinds of glazing techniques, because this is one of those colors that will, no matter how many layers you use on top of each other, it will still look really, really gorgeous. And with Sennelier, I find that if I want to have really intense colors, I will glaze. So I will layer all these layers on top of each other to make a more intense color. And it does give a different effect than when you would use Schminky Horadam and apply that kind of intensity with only one stroke at a time. So they are both beautiful, but in a different way, and you will have to work with them both to learn the difference and to see in your own techniques what the difference is and what it means to you, because I can tell you that to me these brands complement each other fantastically, but maybe you will try the same and come to the conclusion that to you the difference isn't big enough to invest in two brands of paint. Now we're moving on to Venetian Red 623, and I'm a bit, I know it's a red, so I do get why they listed it on this chart instead of in the earth tones, but had I put this collection together, I would certainly have put this color among the earth tones and the browns, because this is definitely not a red or, you know, a pinkish red as we have seen it so far. So it detonates. Can you say that detonates? I know to detonate is to make a bomb explode, but like in Dutch you can say it detonates when the tone is off. You know, when the tone of this color, it just doesn't fit in with the rest. Then you can say detonates. But that's a literal translation, and you might be laughing your socks off now, saying, thinking that I am saying something really stupid, which perhaps in English I am. Because it is rarely a very good idea to translate things literally. Okay, just let me know in the comments if you can say whether a color detonates. Alizarin Crimson, right, that is also a color that I use a lot in mixing skin tones. 689, and I love it for its vibrance, and I love it by Sennelier. I already owned it in my pan, although my pan was empty, so I'm really, really happy. And again, it is a bit gooey, so it contains a lot of honey. This has the color of blood that's drying up. So it's a very deep, like a red wine kind of red, almost. Well, not almost. I actually know wines that are this kind of red. I love it. I love the color because I love it for mixing especially. I rarely use it as a standalone color, but I do mix with it a lot. Carmine. Well, that's a very pink carmine. This is I'm going to scrape a little bit of paint off the page. This is not a carmine as I know it from any other type or brand of paint that I have, in which carmines are usually really, really red. But I think I would call this, you know, a pink heading towards fuchsia. This is one of the reasons when people ask me what color should I buy, that I sort of refuse to answer that question, because you know, when I tell you to go out and buy a carmine, and you see me using this pinkish carmine by Sennelier, and you find a carmine by, well, whatever other brand or another type of paint, and you'll say, well, that's not pink enough. You know, it's so hard to tell you the colors that I think you should buy. I can only tell you what I like, what I use a lot, and what I use it for. Crimson Lake. Also very, very pinkish. And also gooey, a little gooey when working with it. And you know, it even remains gooey when diluting, or gooey, not really gooey, but like syrupy almost when you're working with it. That's, I've been told that's due to the honey that's in this paint, and it took me some getting used to, and I hate it that I needed so much paint to get these really vibrant colors. But once you learn to work with this paint, you know, it gets to be a really, really fantastic paint. So Quinacridone Red. I love my quinacridones, as if you've watched any video of mine before, you will know, because those are the oohing, the oohing and the eyeing and the squealing videos. But I have to say this is quite different, but it is again very gooey, a lot of honey there. So I'm going to dilute it. Oh yeah. Now I recognize it from other brands of paint that I have. Now I can see the quinacridone. I love the quinacridones because they're warm and vibrant, and you know, if you're asking me what color should I buy, go out buy quinacridones because they're wonderful. Rose Madder Lake. As you can see, this paint didn't come from the tube without a hassle. Quite a bit of binder coming out of it. But look what a beautiful color. Oh, I love that. It's I have a lipstick that's called Cuba Cola by Mary Quant, and I got it from my father when I was 14 years old, and I still have it. And this is the color. And I've been looking for a lipstick to match this exactly same color, and I haven't been able to find it anywhere in all these years. And this lipstick's, well, I can still use it, although it's probably gone off by now, but it's the most fantastic kind of pink that when you apply it to your lips, it becomes red. Has nothing to do with this paint whatsoever, but this is the color, and I absolutely love it. Rose Madder Lake 690. Okay, the paint that is missing from this box, although the leaflet does mention it in this spot, is Opera Rose. And it is not rated for light fastness, I think. No, not rated. So, you know, don't use it for commissions, and don't even use it for reproduction. I tried photographing it, I tried scanning it, and the bitter truth is it doesn't work. This color simply doesn't come across. But it doesn't mean to say it's a fantastic color to paint with and to brighten up your day when it's drab outside as it is now. So the Opera Rose certainly lightens up my day, and I have a big tube, as you can see, and well, light fast or not, I love it. So sometimes to hell with light fastness, not for commissions though, and not for reproduction. And this is such a different Opera Rose than other brands. I will show you in a minute. Well, no, not within a minute. Because this Opera Rose is a cold color. It's a cool kind of pink. And I'll show you the Schminky Horadam. And I know I just said you can't reproduce it, so this is only just, you know, an idea. But to give you an idea of the two, can you see the difference? this is sort of going towards the violet purple thing. And then there is the Schminky Brilliant Opera Rose, which is like neon. It's like, well, neon. I mean, I can't make any different. I can't make anything else of it. It's neon. I know that the core, I also have the core, and that is, oh no, the Daniel Smith is also much more neon. But this neon won't reproduce. I mean, it fades when looking at it, and even when you look at it, you can already see that the color is not consistent all over. Still, it's a great color to use, especially in your art journals, especially in mixed media products. So, you know, I'm really enthusiastic. Well, don't touch Opera Rose. I love it. Cobalt Violet Light Hue, 911. 911. I'm wondering, why do manufacturers still keep that color number in their collections? Because in Japan, I heard 13th floors are left out of buildings due to popular belief about the number 13. But you would say that perhaps with historical events, manufacturers would leave out such numbers. Oh, or am I going overboard? Am I thinking now? Well, anyways, let's not discuss history. Let's talk color. Cobalt Violet Hue, and I love it. Violets are often not light fast, and I doubt that this one is, but it is a really, really gorgeous color. I love to see it flow. Yes, it's great. The color that Sennelier replaced the Opera Rose by is Permanent Magenta. That's the color they wanted me to... Permanent Magenta, yeah. And it's kind of funny because I know my magentas and I don't have any magenta that looks like this. I did paint my bedroom wall with this color once, which was dreadful because it looked gorgeous, but you wouldn't see the mosquitoes on it, so I would get a lot of mosquito bites. So for killing mosquitoes, this is not the right color to have. Isn't that interesting information when color swatching watercolor? I mean, sorry. But look at this. This is a beautiful deep color. Oh, I love this. Yes, I'm really, really happy to have this. This is gorgeous. But I love it anyway. I also love the Cobalt Violet Light Hue. It's drying up beautifully. Okay, moving on to Cobalt Violet Deep Hue. I like deep colors, as you all know. I know. No need for me to say it and repeat it, but then again, there could be a lot of, you know, new viewers watching this, so... Okay, as you can you see it? Can you see that this is actually kind of gooey? And I have tried the Golden High Flow acrylics, which I hate for this reason. I don't know why, I just do, because they remain a bit gooey as well, no matter how much you dilute them. But for some reason with this watercolor by Sennelier, it's just wonderful. Makes gorgeous colors, so... Okay, there we go. Red Violet 905. Red Violet, this name... I don't see a lot of violet. I don't see a lot of red in this, by the way. And it looks quite a bit like the Cobalt Violet Deep Hue. But you know, we have to let it dry and see how these colors turn out. It's lighter. It's a bit lighter. Okay, Helios Purple. And that's a color that, you know, a lot of binders separate it from the tube when I squeezed it onto the paper. A lot. I had to use kitchen towel to get a lot of binder out before I got to the paint, which is quite a shame. But it is a gorgeous color. For anyone painting peonies, you might want to check on this one. It is gorgeous. Or orchids. This is a beautiful color for painting orchids. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, 903 blue violet. So there was a red violet and now there is a blue violet. I have to say these little dots dried up really well. Much better than I'd expected, by the way. This violet, just like the red violet, is a really transparent color, very gooey. And doesn't seem to be a very intense and forceful color. So it's more laid, but this is a more laid back color. It's more in the background. And when I just said, you know, the red violet, why do they call it red violet? Well, now you can see the difference. This is the red violet, that's the blue violet. So that's why the name red violet. It's a little bit more towards the red spectrum. Dioxazine Purple. Now that should be a really powerful color, and just by seeing how black this is, you can already see it really is. Look, even when applying water to it, it still looks black. So there's way too much paint on this paper. Dioxazine Purple is a very powerful, almost aggressive kind of deep purple. In any brand that I've seen it in. So now I'm diluting it a bit to just see how dark it is. It's amazing, isn't it? But I love it because it's a very pure purple. So I'm just applying a bit of water and you'll see it will flow beautifully, because that's one of the characteristics of this pigment, that it flows beautifully. Ah, did you see what happened there? I'm adding a little bit of water because I really use this paint too intensely. But it is it's an immensely intense color. Prussian blue. Now we come to my blue friends. I love, oh. Aha, hold on. I was already wondering what was sticking. Hold on. I've actually stacked these color charts when they were still wet, so there's wet paint under my hands now. Okay, well, like I said, it's one of those days, but you know what, we'll get through it, no worries. Prussian blue. Prussian blue is my friend. I love it. I love the depth of color. You know, this allows for a very late evening sky just before it gets dark, when I would turn to indigo. It's a warm blue, and it really still is a blue. Indigo sometimes turns to black. And some brands, it's hard to tell the difference between paint grey and indigo. But the Prussian blue, I think it's gorgeous. I think it's one of the most beautiful colors, and I always use it. You know, it's along with the violet and I always look for a really extreme kind of red, and the Indian yellow and the turquoises and the quinacridone golds and the indigos. You know, those are the colors that are always in my set. Are they great for mixing together? You know, I don't care. There's a set of colors that people will always use, you know. And there is no right or wrong way to do things. I know when I started out, somebody pointed out to me that I wasn't doing it the right way. And it's just such a pity when people think that there is a right and a wrong way, 'cause there isn't. By the way, I want to say that this is a gorgeous, gorgeous indigo. This is absolutely smashing. There is a lot of difference between the indigos from different brands. You know, there are those colors that will be practically the same in every brand. Probably got to do with the pigments they make the paints from. But I've always wondered, why is the indigo so different? Which on the other hand, you know, makes it a great excuse for me to own every indigo from every brand I can possibly imagine. Okay, blue indanthrene. And that is, oh, that's beautiful. Wow. That's very intense. And it's more towards, wow, much more towards cobalt blue. Very dark. Gorgeous color. Wow, I love this. I don't think I have this color yet. No, I don't. Well, now I do. But I don't remember seeing this color in any set that I have. I do have indanthrone and indanthrines, because every manufacturer calls them different, but they don't look like this, I think. Well, I'll go and check, but no, this seems, it's gorgeous. And it fits so well in the series of the Prussian blue, the indigo, which is more greenish. This is some perylene green in it. The perylene green that I tested for, the perylene green, it's got an undertone, a perylene green undertone in it. Well, it doesn't have it, actually, probably, but that's what it reminds me of. It sort of almost heads towards the green. And then there is the indanthrone blue that's like a royal velvet kind of blue. Gorgeous. Cobalt deep. I never use cobalt blue. Usually it's opaque, and I tend to glaze a lot, so I rarely use opaque. Also, there was a warning on one of the tubes. I'm trying to scrape off the excess paint here. This is very gooey, by the way. A very gooey paint. I never use cobalt blue. I don't know why. I think I prefer it's personal preference. I think I prefer deep colors like the indanthrone blue, the indigo, the Prussian blue, and this is, I don't know. It's usually a bit more pale when it dries up. Cobalt blue. And I never use that one either. There are many student grade sets like Cotman and Van Goeije that have, you know, there's a dark and a lighter blue, and they will have a cobalt blue. Oops. Yeah, well, that happens, right? They have a cobalt blue in their set. And you can check every set of mine is hardly, some are even left untouched. Okay. I'm going to try and do a mixing chart with them. I mean, I should use them. Ultramarine Deep. Now, I'm so curious about the difference between Ultramarine Deep and French Ultramarine. It's quite hard work to scrape all the paint off. What I want to do now is to not too much water on the paper, but I want to get some flow because I want to see if it granulates. It should, but some brands stay, some brands don't. French Ultramarine Blue makes me think of Rebecca d'Outremer. Her name, d'Outremer, is French for ultramarine. Rebecca of the Ultramarine. And she is a French illustrator and she is fantastic. She's my hero. She really is. And it's just such a coincidence that she should be called d'Outremer. But you know what, perhaps she really is called d'Outremer. This one seems to granulate a bit. This one, not really. I'll see how it dries up and we'll get back to it. I'll zoom out for you so that you can see the entire chart, which is this. And I really still do think this one detonates. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I'm moving on to the blues, the greens, and, well, the blues and the greens. See you in the next video.